In this video, you'll learn how multitasking hinders productivity and what to do about it. What do leprechauns, the Loch-ness monster, and multitasking all have in common? They're all myths. Your colleague can't multitask, you can't multitask, and no one can multitask. Even the tech-savvy multi-device juggling millennials can't multitask. Yet on a daily basis, we cling to the multitasking myth as we work across multiple devices and systems trying to squeeze more productivity out of our day. We are all guilty of multitasking. You'll even be tempted to multitask while watching this video. You may glance at an email, send a text, add a task to your to-do list, or create a calendar reminder. Today's work environments and culture are carnivals of distracting multitasking demands, and it's costly. Researchers estimate we lose 28% of an average workday on multitasking ineffectiveness. And a Microsoft study found it can take up to 15 minutes to refocus after an interruption. Imagine what the cumulative loss of focus and productivity are over a career or in business. So why do we multitask? It's ancestral. Multitasking was a necessity for survival. Our ancestors had to survey the foreground while assessing the threats in the background. It's tempting. Humans produce as many as 50,000 thoughts a day. We are constantly tempted to change direction and pursue new thoughts and ideas. It's addictive. Media multitasking produces dopamine squirts in our brains. It's necessary. Many of us believe we must multitask to get everything done. Workers change desktop windows, check email, or other programs nearly 37 times an hour. So why is multitasking a myth? According to Gary Keller, author of the #1 Wall Street Journal and New York Times bestselling book, The One Thing, The Surprisingly Simple Truth Behind Extraordinary Results, multitasking first appeared in the 1960s to describe computers, not people. Computers were becoming so fast that a whole new word was needed to describe a computer's ability to quickly perform many tasks. Originally, the term multitasking referred to multiple tasks alternating sharing one resource, the CPU. However, the interpretation of multitasking has shifted to mean multiple tasks being done simultaneously by one resource, a person. Today's computers give the illusion that everything happens at the same time, when in reality, computers have to switch back and forth to process and can only process one piece of code at a time. Humans operate the same way. We can only process one piece of information at a time. Thus, multitasking as we know it is a myth. The reality of multitasking. Can you listen to a podcast and drive at the same time? Sure. Humans can do two things at once, but we cannot focus effectively on two things at once. And oftentimes we rely on muscle memory to help us perform one of the two tasks. It's very likely that if you were to get lost while driving in a car, that you'd turn down the podcast you were listening to so that you could fully focus on the higher complex task of finding your way. Or if the roads you were driving on became icy, your retention of the podcast content would drop significantly as your focus shifted to driving safely. If your instant messaging appeared during a conference call, or texting while having a conversation, or emailing during a team meeting, you are actually switching between the tasks. Researchers refer to this as task switching. Interestingly, it's been proven that younger brains can switch between tasks with greater effectiveness than older brains. This explains why Millennials and Generation Z, the post-millennial generation, give the illusion that they are elite multitaskers, when in reality their brain allows them to switch between tasks with greater ease and less loss of focus. You can still manage to extract the necessary and important information while you task switch, but don't think for a second that you are 100% present and delivering your best performance within each task. Our brains simply do not allow it. So what do? Appreciate the limitations of your brain and your focus. Start small. Block off 15 minutes to hyper-focus on one activity or task. Throughout the day, decide what matters most in the moment and give it your undivided attention. Quiet your world so that you can conquer what matters by building a work bunker. Silence your phone, close email and social media, turn off Wi-Fi, etc. We will never achieve 100% distraction-free work. Distractions aren't a problem that can be solved, but rather a tension we must manage. Hopefully, with a renewed perspective of task switching, you can better manage this tension and avoid the devastating productivity costs. For it said, those that chase two rabbits will not catch either one. Fight on for your focus. Thanks for watching. I hope this content was insightful and useful. As a top-ranked Millennial and Generation Z speaker and an Inc.com columnist, I help organizations lead, engage, and sell to the emerging generations, as well as helping them leverage today's workplace trends. If you'd like to have me speak to your organization or at your association, click the link in the description to begin that conversation. Also, if you'd like to learn more strategies and insights like the ones shared in this video, click the link in the description to grab your copy of my latest book, The Millennial Manual, the complete how-to guide to manage, develop, and engage millennials at work. And lastly, click subscribe to ensure you don't miss any future videos. Thanks again, and bye for now.